Hello, mis cielitos, and welcome back. Coco and Rosh are here, and we are continuing Ace Attorney Investigations 2.
Hello, Chadlin.
Been a little while, so pardon any rustiness.
Yeah, we are very sorry. There was a lot going on, what with the holidays and general life stuff.
Last time we recorded was last year.
Yay!
Think about when you came here previously. What are you missing?
He's not showing us out permanently, right? Let's get out of here. Come on!
The dog! He hasn't made a sound today. Actually, I do think you
mentioned something if the dog's eaten.
Yeah. God, I forgot about that. When we were here before, he barked and growled repeatedly. Canis even had encouraged him to do so. That must be it! I knew something was off. I can hardly believe it, but I think I know where he hid the murder weapon.
Better be attached to the dog's harness. It better not be in that dog's stomach.
Right. God.
Giving up already. I expected more of you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
As well you should. If you would give me a moment. But this piece of evidence shows where you hid the murder weapon. Is there one of the dog itself?
Yeah.
Okay. So it claims to have seen this dog biting the victim's throat.
Take that!
Your dog. He seems unusually quiet today.
Yeah, unlike last time.
Mr. Canis, if you would be so kind as to open Helmet's mouth.
Are you fucking serious?
Oh, come now. He hasn't barked because he is a well-behaved boy. I had to order him to last time.
Then order him again, this instant! It's not like we're asking for the world, Mr. Canis. Or do you have something to hide?
Insist. Come on, Helmut. Open up.
I'm going to fucking lose it. Sorry, I lost that line.
It went on its own, don't worry.
At least it didn't eat it, okay? At least
Yeah.
it didn't eat it.
I've been like, alright, I'm stringing this man up for animal cruelty.
Okay. What? A chisel in the dog? What? A chisel in the dog?
I thought he'd been strangely quiet. I guess his brain has finally caught up. Eustace. Why don't you be a good boy and call forensics? Tell them it's urgent.
Oh, did that not come through?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Our findings are as follows. Traces of blood were detected on the chisel. What? Also, a shed ton of dog saliva.
Not such a half-baked theory after all, was it?
Alright, so we're all on the same page here. This is a murder weapon, yeah?
The forensic evidence cannot be ignored. We have no choice but to concede that this is most likely the case. I mean, they said blood, but they didn't say whose? Mr. Canis, in light of the discovery of the murder weapon, the court demands that you explain yourself. We found the route your dog took to the holding cells, and now we have the chisel. How do you propose to talk your way out of this one?
You never fail to entertain, Mr. Edgeworth.
Why does he always laugh like that, even when it's not funny?
Poor Helmut. How could they suspect us? You leave me little choice. I shall simply have to share with you the truth. I did not kill anyone. I have grown tired of killing.
Something's not right. Why is he so calm? Very well. The court will hear Mr. Canis's testimony. If you would be so kind.
Gladly.
Mrs. Defense.
Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive to have been. I never knew this knight. I had no contact with him. No connection whatsoever.
Now we knew they were playing chess.
Given that this is the case, why would I possibly wish him dead? Ah, could it be that you are suggesting that it was my canine companion who had the motive instead?
Stole his kill.
Helmut only bears his fangs when I tell him to. I am not so bloodthirsty that I would kill a man I did not know.
I mean, when he puts it that way.
Sorry, with the tears in her eyes, it's like the man's saying.
An assassin who only kills his acquaintances. Not the soundest business model, I agree.
My work required me to deal with strangers, of course, but murder for its own sake, that is not my style.
So I need to prove a link between Knight and Canis. I should go over the evidence again and see what I can discover.
I feel like he turned towards the camera and looked at us and said, since you take so long between playing sessions, you should look at the evidence again.
Wink!
Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive to have been.
Hold it!
I'm puzzled by this focus on motive. Aren't you an assassin?
Assassin or not, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't spill blood for nothing. Neither in a professional sense, nor in a private capacity. That's just not how it's done, is it, boy? No, it's not. I never knew this knight. I had no contact with him. No connection whatsoever.
Hold it!
You didn't know who he was? That's quite unlike you, Mr. Canis.
You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. Perhaps you had a harder time putting me in here than I had realized. But I am no master criminal.
That said, you're no run-of-the-mill prisoner either. You're the fixer, correct? I find it highly unlikely that a man in such a position would have no knowledge of the new detainee at all.
Then you have a rather inflated idea of my position. I have my connections, yes, but I am not all-knowing.
I really love, like, the religious figure of a dog in the background.
I know, it's so good.
And I knew nothing of Mr. Knight. Given that this is the case, why would I possibly wish him dead?
Hold it!
You're an assassin. Since when have you needed a motive?
He's a strange man, isn't he, Helmut? Yes. Yes, he is. Is he a fool? A genius? It's so hard to say.
Calm me, calm be.
Objection!
Drop the act, Mr. Canis, and answer the question.
No, you will answer mine. Who am I, Mr. Edgeworth? I am the very same person you caught. An assassin. A murderer for hire. Were I one to kill without rhyme or reason, I would still be free to recite sutras and peace out of there. Ah, could it be you are suggesting that it was my canine companion who had the motive instead?
Hold it!
Of course not. But your dog was trained to kill.
What is this man talking about? Helmut? Why would he say such an awful thing about you? He's a silly man. That's what he is. Yes.
Woof. Then perhaps he killed the wrong person. That would explain the lack of motive.
Do your precious police dogs attack people willy-nilly? Have some respect, Mr. Edgeworth.
The dogs no, the people yes.
If you're going to accuse Helmut of something, at least show us some evidence to back up your claims.
I would if I had any. That dog's a slippery one. Alright, let's
Yeah.
meant to look at the evidence.
It'll be the pocket chess set or something. Like, did we
Yeah,
maybe
like
get
there was a little piece of paper that had
a diagram of their moves? Yeah, something like that. I love the way baby talks his dog.
yeah.
Better drink my coffee while I'm not voicing him. There we go. Is it this one?
Yeah.
There we go.
Objection!
You're getting sloppy, Mr. Canis. You may have trained your dog to clean up your mess, but some things still require human touch. We found this in the victim's room. It's the record of a game of correspondence chess. What's more, The game depicted matches the game laid out on your board.
What?
The number of possible games has been calculated to be 10 to the power of 120, and that's on the low end.
Wait, so that's 10 times 10, 120 times over, right? 100,000. I give up. I mean, what do you even call a number that big?
A vanishingly unlikely coincidence, that's what. Now, tell us why you killed Knight. Unless, that is, you would prefer to explain the coincidence.
Well, it wouldn't be this game if he didn't.
Well, they do say that truth is stranger than fiction. It is, as you say, a coincidence.
But that's totally impossible. We just proved that.
A coincidence of a different kind, child. I never imagined my correspondent was the victim, you see. And yet, here we are. Helmut is surprised as I am. Aren't you, Helmut? Yes, yes. I suppose there's nothing for it but to finally tell the truth. Boy. The other prisoners had all gone to the yard, you see. There was a show of some sort, I believe. Here I was, minding my own business, when in comes Helmut, dragging a corpse of all things. I had quite the shock, not least because the murder weapon was still in the poor fellow's neck. Of course, I was none too keen on becoming a suspect, so I had Helmut take the body to the workshop. Once there, he removed the murder weapon and brought it back to me, just as I had asked.
The dog pulled out the murder weapon in the workshop.
Indeed he did. Removing it here would have made an awful mess, after all.
You know, something? That makes total sense. Remember what Mr. Sonnet said, Mr. Edgeworth?
That huge black dog. Oh,
It's gonna give me kisses.
had sunk his terrible teeth into the victim.
What did you just say?
It was hellish. Utterly hellish. That beast! That awful beast. He killed him.
I see. What Mr. Sawat actually saw was Helmut removing the murder weapon then.
I wish he'd just gone, what Mr. Sawat actually saw was, I just got that.
Precisely. I can't say I wasn't a little disappointed that he was spotted, of course.
Very strange. Trying to recognize a pattern of our names dictating our lives. Damn it, father. Why couldn't you have named me Steel Samurai's companion?
Uh-huh. Jam and Ninja's still better.
Silly boy. It's not like you to slip up like that, is it? No. And there you have it. That is about all there is to tell. I did not kill the man. At most, I am responsible for the removal of the weapon. Now, will that be all? Poor Helmut is growing restless.
Objection!
Wow, whenever they have the
Yeah.
voices, I'm just like, really? That's what he sounds like? We know what he sounds
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. We know the truth.
Sorry, but if you could entertain us for just a little longer, Mr. Canis.
Fender? It's so funny to me because we know Fender's like behind him, so he didn't even turn around to look at him.
No offense, Bellio, but I don't think you've quite told us everything. I'm sure we'd all like to know why you thought you needed to pull the chisel out in the first place. Stop
He's-
tickling me.
He's what? Wait, what?
Stop tickling me.
He's right. It makes sense that he would move the body to avoid suspicion. But Canis had no reason at all to recover the murder weapon. I mean, wasn't it his chisel?
Yeah.
So the mute one isn't as dumb as I thought.
Please answer the question, Mr. Canis.
It was because of the bell. The one attached to the chisel, and the one around Helmut's neck. Have a very distinctive design, if you will.
Of course, they were something of a trademark of yours, were they not?
I don't get it. How does that even work?
Bodhidharma Canis, the blind butcher. His appearance was always announced by the sound of bells. The last sound his victims would ever hear.
You flatter me. Though it's been some years since you last saw one of them, you remember them well.
Your knife and its attached bell were one of the pieces of evidence seized in our case against you.
Yes, it was but one of my bells. One of only 2 in existence.
Just 2?
2 and only 2. One for my knife, and one for my beloved Helmut. Exquisitely crafted. Utterly unique. My ears are my guide, after all. And I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me. When Helmut brought the body to my cell, I was rather surprised to hear a familiar sound. At first, I was sure that my knife had been used to do the deed. But no, a chisel. An ordinary chisel.
It's certainly no assassin's blade.
Has anyone on this writing team held a chisel?
Nonetheless, the bell would have suggested my involvement. Compounding the matter is the fact that I am the only person in the prison permitted to use such tools. It was clear that I would become the prime suspect. And so the chisel had to be removed and hidden.
Hold it!
You still claim that all you did was have the dog move the body? That you had nothing to do with the killing?
How could I? I told you, the chisel is not mine. You need not check my word, Mr. Edgeworth. Why not have it checked for fingerprints?
Yeah, you know, with the dog, saliva, and teeth marks on it. Yeah.
Eustace.
Me? But I don't know how to check for prints.
Get forensics.
Right, sure thing. We got him! Fingerprints! They're Mr. Knight's!
And Mr. Canis's.
Nope. Just Mr. Knight's. And forensics says there's no sign of any prints having been wiped off.
Only Knight's fingerprints. This isn't good.
Should I get them to check again?
Now do you see? I have never so much as touched that chisel. Helmut carried it in his mouth. That is all.
I like to imagine the forensics guy like, yeah, thanks, by the way.
Therefore, any prince must belong to whoever had it last.
So the murder weapon belonged to the victim? Ooh, that's not helpful.
As I said, I have not touched the chisel. Therefore, I cannot be the killer. Or do you wish to suggest otherwise?
I've got nothing to counter with. But what could this mean? Is he not the killer after all? Is he actually telling the truth? No, he can't be. I'm sure this goes without saying, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you do not find a solution to your current predicament, and quickly, I will have little choice but to relieve you of your badge. Even my patience has a limit, and I will not tolerate you throwing this investigation into chaos. Am I clear?
You've done it now, sir. She's serious. I forgot he was here.
Oof, I hate to admit it, but the fingerprints turn everything on its head. Without more evidence, I'm back to square one.
Wait. Add up. Things, actually. What would Mr. Knight have needed a chisel for?
You can do a lot with a chisel, child. Break out of prison, for one.
All right. Noted. Writing that down. Then how did he get it in here?
Edgeworth just slowly taking the notepad from her.
All it says on it is, I can't write.
There's no way the guards would let him bring a super sharp tool in with him, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, is Jesset?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Earth to Mr. Edgeworth.
Hmm.
You can't stand there hemming and hawing just because of a little setback. The important thing is finding the truth, you know? It doesn't matter how we get there. We face out, we hold out, we reach out to the truth. As long as we save Simeon in the end. We can't give up now or ever.
Yeah, what she said.
And he's just dead-faced through all of this.
He's unaffected. I'll second that. You want me around with that, Kay? I'm half tempted to offer you a job for real. It's like I said, the defense never rests. Or rather, like your pop said. What do you think lies at the heart of those words, Miles? Any guesses?
No resting, but disassociating. The heart of those words.
I swear to Christ if you keep tickling me. It's like this. As defense attorneys, our client's fate rests on our shoulders. We're the only ones they can turn to. Simians are quiet, and we're the only ones who can save them. So we can't rest. Not while he's counting on us. I'm not about to turn my back on your old man's legacy. Are you?
I'm an associate with the defense now. No. I'm an associate with my father's firm. That's the row I have chosen, and that means that if I fail to save my client, I've failed in my duties. I will honor my father's vision and save Simeon Saint. No matter what setbacks I face, I cannot admit defeat. If one path is blocked, I must simply find another.
Mr. Miles Jedsworth, I know. Now let's find that new path forward. We can start by trying to figure out how Mr. Knight brought that chisel into the prison.
Right. How would Knight have managed to bring a chisel in here?
Secret compartment?
Take that!
Usually, it wouldn't be possible to bring a metal object into this facility undetected.
Because of the security gates, right?
Correct. But we already know that checks at one of the gates haven't been entirely thorough of late. Namely, the gate at the entrance to the detention center. That gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are only subjected to a cursory check. Are you telling me that the chess set wasn't put through the metal detector? It should have been. Alas, it seems the guards have grown a little lax in that regard of late. Knight took advantage of this little oversight and had Mr. Saint bring him the chisel, hiding inside his pocket chess set. That does answer one of our questions, and it suggests that the chisel was indeed Mr. Knight's and not Mr. Canis's. However, we still have one rather pressing problem to address. That of the security footage in which Knight is attacked by a dog. How does one explain it if Mr. Canis was not the culprit?
But then, how do you explain his prints not being on the murder weapon? This one's a real three-piper.
The court too finds itself wanting for a satisfactory explanation.
Wait, sir. I think it might be time to show you another one of my secret weapons. Introducing secret weapon number 4. Lil V.
What sort of name is that, detective? A cute one.
I came up with it myself, sir. Anyway, you could use it to analyse the video footage. An excellent idea. Perhaps then you might finally see that I am telling the truth.
I did that a bit angrier than I intended. It kind of came out that way.
Who knows if there's anything to be found, but it has to be worth a try.
Alright, want me to talk you through how to use it, sir?
Oh, Gumshoe, anything to give you more screen time.
Seeing as I'm not exactly familiar with video analysis techniques, perhaps I should hear him out. If you could run me through its functions, detective, that would be most appreciated.
Yes, sir. So, basically, you just got to do what you always do. Hello? Examine anything that catches your eye.
Sorry, I was stuffing my face.
No, it's I didn't see my thing light up, so I was like tapping my mic.
Oh. I can examine things with tea, I see.
You always do. Next up, see those controls at the bottom of the screen?
That stands for rewind, pause, and fast. He literally said it. The panels on the left and right let you rewind or fast forward. And you can use the middle one to pause. Get used to those and you're golden, sir. Just like the golden retriever. Bred in Scotland, just like me.
It seems I can also press E to fast forward or Q to rewind the footage. And I can press space to pause.
When the video's paused, you can go to the previous frame with Q or the next frame with E. I'll just use the same control panels I showed you earlier. Lastly, I'd better explain how to zoom in. Just line up the old cursor with the area you want to take a closer look at. Then use the panel on the bottom right, and Lil V will do the rest. It's got those two expanding arrows right on it. Can't miss it, sir.
It would appear I can zoom in by pressing R too.
By the way, even when you're zoomed in, you can still examine stuff, like in regular view. Also, you can make use of previous and next frame to get a good look at what's really happening. Only thing you can't do when you're zoomed in is play the footage, so there's that. Don't try, you'll mess up the tape.
I see, and how do I zoom out again?
Just use the panel on the lower right again, sir. See how it's gone from expanding to collapsing arrows on there, sir? That's because you're zoomed in. And that about sums it up. Now, let's fire Lil V up for real. Remember, just examine anything that catches your eye and you'll do fine.
And with that, we will end this episode right here. Thank you all for coming. Hope you have a wonderful time zone wherever you are, and as always, please do take care of yourselves and each other. Toodaloo-hoo!
Cheery!